cruise ship Rhapsody of the Seas with her family. They were going on a dream vacation through the Caribbean, a celebration of her graduation, a chance to relax, and time to be together as a family. But just days into the trip, Amy vanished. She was last seen walking on the deck early in the morning, and then nothing. No body was found, no clear clues, just a mystery that has haunted her family and baffled investigators for over 2 decades. Her case is one of the most chilling cruise ship disappearances in history. Not just because she went missing at sea, but because of the disturbing sightings and strange events that followed. Sightings that suggest she might still be alive. This is the story of Amy Lynn Bradley, a young woman who vanished without a trace, and a mystery that refuses to be solved. It's March 21, 1998. Amy is excited for this trip. She's a strong swimmer, a confident young woman, and not the type to take dangerous risks. She has just graduated from college, has a good job waiting back home, and a loving family. Her parents, Ron and Eva, and her younger brother Brad, are thrilled to be traveling together. The cruise will stop at Aruba, Curacao, and St. Thomas. They board the ship in San Juan, Puerto Rico. The Rhapsody of the Seas is like a floating city, restaurants, bars, pools, live music, and hundreds of passengers. On board, Amy quickly makes friends with some of the ship's staff, including members of the band, Blue Orchid, who play in one of the lounges. She also spends time dancing in the ship's club. Her family remembers her being happy, energetic, and in good spirits. But just a few days later, everything changes. On the night of March 23, the ship was docked in Curacao. Amy and her brother Brad went to the ship's nightclub to dance and have drinks. Several witnesses remember seeing her there. Photographs taken by the ship's photographer show Amy smiling in a green and blue striped outfit. Amy danced with one of the band members into the early hours of the morning. Around 3:30 a.m., she and Brad returned to the family cabin. Their parents were asleep. Brad went to bed. Amy sat out on the balcony for a while, smoking a cigarette and looking out at the ocean. Her father, Ron, woke up around 5:15 a.m. and saw Amy still out there. He spoke briefly to her, then went back to sleep. When he woke up again around 6 a.m., Amy was gone. At first, Ron assumed Amy had gone to get coffee or take an early morning walk. But after searching the ship and finding no trace of her, the family panicked. The Bradley family begged the ship's crew to make an announcement over the public address system, to ask if anyone had seen her. But the crew refused, saying it might upset the other passengers. They also refused to stop passengers from leaving the ship when it docked in Curacao that morning. This delay would become one of the most controversial aspects of the case. If Amy had been taken off the ship, those precious early hours might have been the only chance to stop it. The ship's crew eventually conducted a search, but it was far from thorough. They claimed to have checked every room and all public areas, but the Bradleys didn't believe it. No official search and rescue was launched immediately. The family later learned that the FBI wasn't contacted until the ship reached its next destination. By then, crucial time had been lost. Royal Caribbean insisted there was no evidence of foul play, suggesting Amy might have fallen overboard. But her parents knew that was impossible. Amy was an excellent swimmer, the ocean was calm, and there was no sign she'd been drinking heavily. She also had no reason to take her own life. There were 3 main theories from the start. 1. Amy fell overboard accidentally. 2. Amy took her own life. 3. Amy was abducted. Her family immediately dismissed the first 2. They believed someone on board, possibly connected to the ship's staff, lured or forced her away. And soon, disturbing clues began to support their fears. On the cruise, Amy had several encounters that, in hindsight, seemed suspicious. She told her parents that some of the ship's crew were creeping her out. One man in particular made her uncomfortable. She didn't like being alone with certain staff members. Some passengers also reported seeing her speaking with crew members in the hours before she disappeared. Even more unsettling, after Amy vanished, the band member she had been dancing with the night before gave conflicting statements about when he last saw her. Over the years, multiple witnesses have claimed to see Amy alive. In August 1998, just 5 months after she vanished, 2 Canadian tourists in Curacao reported seeing a woman matching Amy's description walking with 2 men on a beach. The woman looked distressed and seemed to be trying to get away. In 1999, a U.S. Navy petty officer claimed he saw Amy in a brothel in Curacao. He said she told him her name and begged for help, saying she was not allowed to leave. He didn't report it immediately because he feared getting in trouble for being in a brothel while on duty. And in 2005, a photograph surfaced, reportedly taken from a Caribbean sex trafficking website. The picture showed a woman lying on a bed, wearing lingerie. Experts who examined it said the woman's tattoos and facial features closely matched Amy's. These sightings led to a chilling possibility that Amy had been abducted and forced into human trafficking. Cruise ships are international territory when at sea. Laws are complicated, and jurisdiction can be unclear. This creates opportunities for criminals to operate with little oversight. If Amy had been targeted, she could have been taken off the ship quickly at the next port and sold into the sex trade. The fact that the ship did not lock down passengers that morning may have made this even easier. Ron and Eva Bradley have never stopped searching for their daughter. They've traveled across the Caribbean following leads, spoken with countless witnesses, and worked with private investigators. They have criticized the cruise line for not acting quickly, and for refusing to take responsibility. They've also pushed for better safety measures on cruise ships, including quicker response times when someone is reported missing. To this day, Amy Lynn Bradley has never been found. The FBI considers her case a suspicious disappearance and possible homicide, but it remains unsolved. Her family still believes she may be alive, possibly being held somewhere against her will. Amy would now be in her late 40s. The FBI is offering a reward for information leading to her recovery. The ocean holds many secrets. But this case is not just about the sea swallowing evidence, it's about the possibility that Amy is still out there, somewhere, waiting to be found. Amy Lynn Bradley's case is not just a mystery, it's also a powerful reminder of how fragile safety can be, even in places we consider secure. Many people board cruise ships with a sense of freedom and excitement, believing they are protected by the ship's crew and surrounded by other happy travelers. But Amy's disappearance shows that even in controlled environments, danger can appear when we least expect it. One of the first lessons is the importance of awareness. Amy was young, healthy, and alert, yet something happened that took her away from safety. Whether she left the ship willingly or was taken, it happened quickly. We learn that in unfamiliar places, whether on a cruise, in a hotel, or walking in a foreign city, it's important to always know your surroundings, stay in well-lit areas, and keep close to people you trust. Another lesson is the need for quick action in missing person cases. In Amy's case, her family felt that the cruise line did not act urgently enough when she first went missing. Precious hours were lost before searches were fully carried out. This teaches us the value of immediately reporting suspicious activity or a disappearance, even if you're not 100% sure something is wrong. In cases like these, every minute matters. We can also learn about the limits of jurisdiction at sea. Cruise ships often travel through international waters, where legal authority can be complicated. This means that when something happens, investigations can be slow, and responsibility may be unclear. Travelers should understand the rules and safety measures of cruise companies before booking, including what protocols they have for emergencies. Amy's story also reminds us about the importance of advocacy and persistence. Her family has never stopped searching for answers. They have worked with media outlets, government agencies, and private investigators for decades. Without their voice, her case might have been forgotten long ago. It's a lesson in never giving up, even when the trail has gone cold. Finally, Amy's disappearance teaches us the human cost of unanswered questions. Her family has lived with decades of uncertainty, holding on to hope while facing grief. It reminds us to cherish our loved ones, be cautious in unfamiliar situations, and to never take personal safety for granted. In the end, while we may never know exactly what happened to Amy Lynn Bradley, her story can guide us in making smarter, safer choices when we travel, and in understanding that the truth, no matter how long it takes, is always worth searching for.